I would like to invite MK Sunil, Country Manager AEC at Autodesk India, for a quick welcome note.
So how is the Josh? You had good lunch? Ooh, so how is the Josh? Great. So you have seen this slide many times, so just set the context. We are the company that is democratizing design and help you build a better world. I'm sure you heard it many times and it's kind of resonating well, right? But what I want to say is that for a long time, you started your journey with AutoCAD, we moved to Revit and BIM. So it was a design creation, right? You were a creation tool. But importantly, how you actually create is, of course, is important. It is also important how you share that data among other people, right? So today, as a team within Autodesk, we want to talk about create and share in one single breath, right? Without share, the create part is sometimes, and what we have seen is that projects are delayed, over budget, and all of that because the communication gap and efficiency that you lose when you hand over data from one stage to other, all those can be kind of fixed if we actually think about how you create and how you share the data in your ecosystem, right? So that's kind of something that I would like you to remember. I'm not going to show a lot of things on the technology because I would love to have our customers speak and share their projects because we have very limited time and I would like to, we have actually shortlisted some good presentations so that you can take back how they are using our technology to deliver the project more efficiently, on budget, on time, what are the benefits, and all of that kind of thing. So what is BIM? There are a lot of, I get all kind of things when I talk to people, right? Even in the name, building information modeling, somebody will tell me it's building information management, building infrastructure management, all kind of things. So I thought it's a good time to actually kind of step back a few years and think about all of us to get on the same page in some of the terminologies we are trying to use and adopt as BIM is getting adopted. There's a lot of project that is being done on BIM, right, today. Using the BIM process, I would say, not people using Revit to actually harness the process of BIM and deliver project. So what is BIM? So this is what the intelligent 3D model-based process that equips architecture, engineering, and construction professionals with insight and tools to more efficiently plan, design, construct, and manage building and infrastructure. This is what this process is all about. This is what BIM is, right? And so the research also says that if you use BIM, the 2% investment that you do upfront in the projects can give you a 20% total cost benefit, right? So that's huge. So if a project was, so let's take the equation from in terms of infrastructure spend that is going to happen in India. Next 5 years, Prime Minister has already announced that we'll be investing about $1.3 trillion in infrastructure projects, right? So if you use BIM in this process of all delivering this project, you could bring $260 million to the table, right? Because you actually use an efficient process, your productivity will increase, and all of that. So you could actually use that money for other projects. Whereas what has been the trend today? The old projects, they don't finish on time. They get over budget. There's no money to do other projects. So if 10 projects was planned, only 5 gets done. Here, you're saying, okay, we'll do all the project that was planned, plus we'll save money to do more. And we need all the money to do infrastructure projects, right? So with people actually starting to use BIM, now data has become very important, right? As you start to in the design process, you are putting the information. The data is getting rich every day that you're using this process. And that process, as you start to plan and design, build, and operate, through this process, you are actually increasing enriching the data. And that data can be used for many things across the life cycle of the project. When you consider any project, only 20% is actually the cost of if the cost of a project or a life cycle was, let's say, $100, $20 gets spent in design and construction. $80 gets spent during the operation of that facility or infrastructure, right? So a lot more money is spent during the operation, and if we can fine-tune the process, have data to help us to do that, we can be very, very efficient. So this is also time, actually, you're seeing a lot of new things like IoT, reality capture, GIS actually coming together. And also I feel it's time to just think beyond one project. A lot of time I see a building which is green, LEED rated platinum or gold, right? But the neighborhood is not green. We have to think about the neighborhood. We have to think about the city as green, sustainable, right? For that, of course, when you have buildings in a road, there is often in our country we see flood-related issues. Almost every time there's a rain in Bangalore itself, within 1 hour you have 1 feet, 2 feet of water in many places. I've got stranded in road while going home, right? So it's such a situation where you design the drain, but over time the capacity just doesn't. You need to actually redesign that constantly, but we don't do it. The problem is that on that particular stretch of road, there's so many new projects that come up where discharge of water from the buildings and the rainwater the drain is not able to take that much, right? So you need to do a lot of simulation and all of that. So what I'm saying is that when you put all of these buildings together, connect it to a network of roads and drain and all kind of telecom and all of that, then you need to see how this performs. How does this 10 buildings or the whole neighborhood performs, and whether we actually have done a good job in terms of design and execution of project, the neighborhood and the city. And of course, some of the things, a lot of time I sit with customers and say, I want to do 5D today. I want to do 6D. So I thought it's good time to just get on the page and say, hey, what is 3D? What is 4D? When you actually put time there, then of course, 5D there, 6D and sustainability, 7D in facility when you actually take it to facility management. And of course, this is correlated with LOD levels like 100, 200, 300, 350, 400, 500. Actually, right from brief to handover and closeout, this is what you need to actually understand. This is what LOD, when somebody says, what is LOD 400? You have a definition for that, right? So this is very important as you actually start to create data. What is the data that you actually push out of the BIM model? What does it confirms to is important. And also, when I talk to people, they'll say, oh, if I am doing Revit, I need all the information up front. Otherwise, I can't do it, right? But it is not so. You have a generic door that you can put it into a wall, which may not have any information. It could just say it's a D1 or something like that. But as you move to design development, construction documentation, shop drawing, you start to put the information into the same door by enriching. So that's what we say, enriching the same model. You don't need the information that is in the shop drawing right up front when you are actually just in the concept stage. So take that mindset away. You don't need a lot of information. If I have to put walls, I don't need to know if it is a brick wall or a concrete wall or a glass wall. I can just put a wall there. And I can change that wall when I make a decision later at the design development or construction stage. It's actually whatever material is available. I can switch from brick to concrete just like that, right? By changing a type of the door or a type of wall. So it is not important to have all the information up front. You can start with basic. You can start building a generic model, and then start to enrich it as you progress. And of course, that goes up to people in the facility management can use. So some of the drivers today in terms of BIM adoption, you have also seen this slide many times, I guess. There are many mandates and policies in place world over. In Singapore, if you have to get a building done, you have to submit in BIM to get a building permit, construction permit, without which you can't construct, right? In UK, every government project has to be done using BIM. So there are many policies right now in place, and many at work, actually, right? So this is interesting. So this shows how things have transformed, that today most of the countries, most of the organizations are thinking and have a BIM policy, a guideline they are looking at and putting in place. So more and more projects that you work on will have a BIM mandate. You will be asked to deliver projects in BIM and I'm sure all of you are witnessing that, right? Oh. So let me just quickly go through BIM strategy. And again, this is something that people ask me, how do we implement BIM? It's not actually any rocket science. Just like pencil and rapidograph pen became your mouse, and then mouse, we moved. So what we did, the hand-drawn drawing process became computer. We started doing in AutoCAD. Just line, arc, and circle, whatever we were drawing, we just started doing it in computer. But with BIM, it was a lot more different. We were actually playing with data. But then, many companies around the world have already have a BIM implementation strategy out there on the net, which are downloadable. You can actually look at it. It could be a starting point for your office or for yourself. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Go and look at them and set, if you like that standard, you can adopt it, or you can tweak it to actually make it your own. These are publicly available standards and implementation strategies. This is no rocket science. You don't need people, you don't need to invest in companies coming and telling you how to do this, because this is about making buildings, you know. If you know how to make buildings, you can use BIM. With that, so this is same thing. So with that, what I want to do is I want to call upon the customers to come and speak to you, showcase their projects, learn from what they're doing. So the first presentation you're going to announce? Okay, great. So Rovina is going to. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sunil.